And then another. And then another.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout.
Woo! It's showtime, folks! Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Built-In Buffalo Network. I'm your host, Tommy, and joining me is my co-host, Mr. Aramis. What is up, Aramis? It's game day, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready for this one. This is going to be a great one. Listen, I was thinking this was a trap game, but after I heard what I heard, man, this thing over with. It's over.
Oh, you got some juicy.
No, it's public knowledge. Public knowledge.
Oh, what do you got?
Close to 50% of the tickets sold to this game, if not a little bit over 50%, are Bills fans. The Mafia took it over. You cannot have a trap game if you don't got crowd noise involved in it. It's over.
But is that really a juicy? Come on, man. That happens all the time.
Right.
That's what we do.
Right. Yeah, but again, listen, a lot of people have been thinking of this game as a track game. You going
right.
Bills have been there, done that. We won there before when they had Jalen Ramsey and they had a much better defense. We still spanked them. So
absolutely,
it's like, okay, do they have the weapons? Yeah, they got a good defensive line. They got some stuff. But if you ain't got the crowd behind you, it's not happening.
Dwight coming in, same thing. Road/home game, pretty much. Scott coming in. Aramis is a cologne, isn't it? Give me good smelling takes. Damn it.
I'd have to stand up and bend over to give you that.
What's up? What is up, guys? So, yeah, man. By the way, anybody have the active, inactive? I don't have my Twitter pulled up or my X pulled up. You got that report? Should be on X. If you type it in this way, I know somebody already wrote in. Chris came in, Coleman and Kincaid out. I knew Kincaid was. I think Coleman was a game time decision, so apparently he's out. So you have that pulled up by any chance?
I do not.
I don't have spin in the building, so here I think I probably get it. Let's see. All right, inactives. So here's the Rams inactives: Stenson Bennett, quarterback. Emmanuel Forbes, running back Cody Schrader, Brennan Jackson, Dylan McMahon, damn it, Warren McLaurin Jr. For us, inactives, Keon Coleman, Kyer Elam. You want to say his name, EU? Go ahead. You say it so good.
What? You heard me say it like 40 times.
No, you got to say it.
Eulafosio, man.
Yeah. Will Clapp, Quentin Morris, Don Kincaid, and Jordan Phillips inactive today. So there's your inactive. That's a surprise because I felt like Jordan Phillips was, not saying he's been playing unbelievable, but I thought he's been playing okay when he got onto the field. I'm not saying he's a game wrecker, but I'm just saying I don't feel like he's harmed the Buffalo Bills when he's been out there. You know what I mean? Like he's brought a little juice to the defensive line, which that's what he does. Like he likes to get the crowd hype, especially home games. So, but yeah, being inactive, it is what it is. It's not a huge loss or anything like that. No.
Right. I don't want to ruin the Bills wire thing for later on in the show, but I mean, Jordan Phillips would have been nice towards the matchups for this particular game. I mean, with the inside pass rush on a guy like Matt Stafford, not a scrambler.
You're right. He tends to hold the ball a little bit too.
Yep.
Absolutely. Real quick before we move on, I want to go around the league real quick. Titans up 6-3. Boy, what a shootout there in the fourth quarter against the Jets. This is a little bit of a surprise. The Jets are up 20-15. Now I had the Dolphins winning this game, but I had it like a 6-point edge to the Dolphins. I had it close, And it's looking like this game's going to come down to the fourth quarter. So right now, Jets are up 20-15, and they have the ball at Miami 49. So, boy, the Dolphins better be careful messing around, especially if they're really trying to creep into the playoffs. I still don't see them getting in. But Vikings are up 21-13 over the Falcons right now. 3 minutes left in the third. The Saints only up 7-3 against probably the worst team right now in football, the Giants. I think they're terrible. 2-10, 0-6 at home. They're awful. But Saints are only up 7-3, 6 minutes to go. Here's a shocker. End of the third quarter, Panthers are up 16-14 over the Eagles. A team that my co-host Mikey said he thinks is the best team right now in football, playing the best. I think the Lions, because I just feel that way, but I understand the argument. But right now, I'm going to tell you, they lose to the Panthers. That argument's over with because you can't be losing to Panthers. I know they've been playing better, guys, but come on. It's a fucking Panthers, and you're at home, and you're in Philly. Nah, bro. Nah, sorry. Pittsburgh is up 20-7 over the Browns right now. 7 minutes to go in the third. I think Pittsburgh will win this game. Bucks and Raiders. Bucks came out 14-0, and now it's 14-10. Buccaneers offense has been like, they haven't done much after the quick 14. Like the Raiders defense has been all over that ass. So, but the Raiders offense is pretty bad. So I think the Bucks can pull that game off. But a lot of close games. I mean, honestly, like there's a lot of close games right now. The only game that's really maybe Pittsburgh, you're up 20-7, but everything else is what, a one possession game. One possession, right?
Third quarter, 6:33 left. Yeah, and that Browns game, I don't know. Winston is
you never know, but
quarter's pretty
Pittsburgh. It is in Pittsburgh, though. It's only and Cleveland did get the last one, so I do think Pittsburgh comes out with the vic. But we'll see. It's a lot of time left. Anything can happen. Let's get to some of these comments. Christopher coming in off Facebook. What's up, Christopher? Why didn't Coleman go on IR 4 to 5 weeks later and still getting the same reporting? Maybe they didn't think it was going to be, maybe they thought he bounced back a little quicker. I don't know. Like, that's a great question, but maybe they were just holding out for hope more. I don't know, but he was a game time decision today. So I would assume he's really close to coming back, and that Lions game is going to be the toughest one left on the schedule. So I think he comes back for the Lions game. I just do, because that is a game where we're going to need all of our weapons. And I think you see Coleman back that game. Same with Kincaid. I have a feeling Kincaid will, but we'll see. I'm more confident with Coleman coming back than Kincaid next week, but we'll see. Jets just got a first down. Yeah, Jets are, like I said, it's a division game, and they're both shitty teams. And I knew the Dolphins weren't going to just spank them. I just had a feeling. Let's go something. Go square. I'm thinking you said go Bills. We don't see the emojis. I wish we did. We don't.
Well, actually, you can't see them. I can see them.
Well, not on here, not on the chat. So when I pull them up,
okay.
It'll say go. Like in YouTube, you can see them.
Mini squares,
yeah. But here, like, which is weird. You figure, like, come on, StreamYard, get it together.
Really quick about the Coleman point. One of the other things with Coleman and Kincaid, if they're on IR, they can't practice at all, right?
Right. And that is true too.
Yep. In this span of them, not being healthy enough to play, they can still go through other drills. They can still work on, things that the coaches want them to work on. Coleman in particular, he can run routes. You know what I mean?
Right.
He can do that kind of work and stuff like that. He just wouldn't be, catching balls. So
right.
That's usually why, somebody with that type of injury wouldn't go on IR, especially if he's been out this long. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you save as many of these players as you can for that Lions game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, man, I think the Lions are playing the best football right now. For as many injuries as they have, and for the record they have, and they keep on finding a way to win. Good teams, great teams, really, always find a way to win, even when they're playing like shit, like a game where they're just not. You know what I mean? The Eagles should win today, even though they're in a dogfight right now. They're a very good team. I would be very surprised if they don't go on and win this game. Now, it might be close, might be ugly, but usually the better teams, that's what they do, right? The Chiefs, let's be real, they find ways usually, even though some of them are lucky, some of them, they get some breaks, but that's what it is, right? And the bad teams always tend to find a way to lose. Like,
Well,
it's just usually the way it works.
What are you going to think if the Eagles lose? Like, are we still?
I will say what I've always said before. It is any given Sunday. That is very true. That holds true to today. And I've been saying this all year when people are like, oh, cupcake schedule or whatever, that whole classic, you played nobody. It is very tough to win every week. Like, to just keep winning and keep winning. And no matter who you face, I don't care if it's a fucking Giants. Like, it is tough to be consistent, like, and good every weekend, week out. No mistakes. Play perfect football. Just keep winning. That's why there's only been 2 undefeated regular season teams, which is the Dolphins and Patriots, and only one, the Dolphins, to go all the way and win a Super Bowl. Like, it's very tough. So, would it surprise me? Yes. But once again, I do go with the any given Sunday. I understand that that's true. I mean, look at college football. There's upsets all the time. Same with the NFL. Like, so it could happen, man. You know, a couple mistakes here and there. Teams get hot. And that particular day, yeah, I mean, it could happen. I mean, look at today. I mean, going around the league right now again, Titans should be winning. I mean, listen, Titans are bad, but they're at home. 6-3, it's terrible. The Jaguars don't even have their starting quarterback. They got Mac Jones in there. Like, come on. The Jets are beating the Dolphins at home. The Dolphins should be up. I'm not saying they should be whipping them, but they should be up at home. They're not. And the Jets are playing terrible, right? Football lately. Falcons just tied it in Minnesota, 21-21. Now, that could be either way, but the Vikings are 10-2. 5-1 at home. Like, they should be up right now.
Philly just
Saints
scored.
up. Yeah, the Saints up 14-3. So that's going probably, that might start getting away from the Giants, right? Giants can't score. They have no quarterback.
They're throw the ball.
The Eagles just scored, by the way. They're up now 20-16. The Browns went for it on 4th down, and they didn't get it, by the way. So Steelers have the ball on Cleveland's 20 now. I think they went for it on 4th down at the 40, their own 40. So big mistake there. And if Pittsburgh scores a touchdown here, make it 27-7. Tough to come back from that. And the Buccaneers are in a dogfight right now against the 2-10 Raiders at home. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just saying, any given Sunday, teams can bring it. It's not easy. That's why I give credit to the Bills for what they're doing right now. And by the way, we had a tough schedule to start the season. Nobody looked at this schedule and was like, "Oh, that's a cupcake schedule." The Bills, nobody said that. Strength of schedule, we were up there. Yeah, exactly. So don't come now because teams are having their issues. It's not fucking our problem. We're taking care of business. Like, I hate that when people say that. I don't like that. Now, only way I will go on a stat, but like, who have you beaten is with coaches. So, for instance, Mike McDaniel, coach of the Dolphins, he's only beaten 2 teams above 500 since he's been head coach. Like, I'll go with that stat. That's terrible. Like, that's all.
You got to be careful with that, though. You got to be careful with that.
That's rough.
The Bills haven't done so either.
No, McDermott, since he's been here, there's no way he's not.
I'm not talking about. I'm
talking about total wins
this year.
No, I'm not talking about this year. Oh, I'm talking about as the head coach since he's been hired. He's has 2 wins over 500 throughout the whole time. That is, bro, that's unacceptable. In a season, fine, you can get all right. It happened. Like for instance, for us right now, right? We haven't. I think we've beaten one team over 500. Is that correct? The Chiefs. I could be wrong.
No.
Okay, so there you go.
Well, if the Cardinals can stay over 500, then we will have them at week 1. But that's
there you go. So I get that part. I'm just going by like his whole career. So
Steelers
that is a bad stat. Steelers just scored again, a touchdown.
27.
All right, so that game is pretty much over. Like, I'm going to call it right now.
Yep.
It's not that game.
That's fair.
So
Jets are let's get to They're up 2015 too.
I told you, man. I told. I have a show. Saturday, AFC Shakedown, kind of like AFC's Roundtable, and they had everybody else had the Dolphins smoking the Jets like 35-10 or something crazy. I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's like 27-22 or something crazy. Like, it's going to be close. I had the Dolphins still winning, but I didn't think it was going to be no Dolphins are going to rout them. Like, we'll see. Can the Dolphins come? Boy, the Dolphin fans will be so pissed if they
I mean, doesn't it have to be over for the Dolphins after this year? So, I mean,
Dude,
that's already done. But
I've been saying it. Yeah, like I would think their GM and their head coach would be fired by now. And I don't know how their GM still has a job, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think their coach. You can't lose those games. Let's get to some comments. John, I am ready for Amari Cooper to get some passes. Let's talk about Amari Cooper. That's a great. I'm glad that you got us into that conversation. I like Jordan Phillips, man. Anyways, here's the deal. What I feel like is going on right now with Amari. One, obviously you have to play. The injury is affecting him a little bit, right?
Yep.
The wrist injury, right? He is wearing still a cast when he's playing, all that stuff. Also, he's only been here so long. I don't think him and Josh are on the same page yet, like totally. I think they're getting there, but Amari's a different kind of route runner. He said it himself when he came here. I do things a little bit different, and you saw it really on that play where he loudered it to Josh. Josh threw a ball a little bit outside there, and it wasn't the greatest. And mind you, it could have been just timing, and his routes are a little different. So I think it's going to take a couple more games or so for him and Josh to kind of really get on the same page. And then also the playbook, for him to really get down the playbook, get it totally down, for you to start seeing Amari really start getting some good stats in games, right? Picking up good yards, like being more consistent as far as like going, like week in, week out, right? Like right now, I think it's going to be like this for the next couple games. And then maybe as Josh gets more comfortable with him and Cooper starts getting more comfortable with Josh, I think you see those start to pick up. What do you feel about that, Ernest?
Yeah, so this is going to be a big game for Amari Cooper. I mean, hands down. The Rams defense is dependent upon two good safeties and one nickelback that can play safety in Quentin Lake. Those are the only three good defenders they have on their entire defense in terms of coverage, right? Their linebackers, nothing to write home about. Their corners, less than nothing to write home about. So Amari Cooper's going to have a big day today. I wholeheartedly believe he could easily go for 100 yards or more easily on this.
Is this a hot take?
Listen,
you bringing a hot take?
Listen, I think he's going to go off on this thing. Josh has already shown the trip to LA does not affect him. On top of that, he's from Cali, so half of his family is going to be at this game too. You don't think he's going to want to show off in this game and throw for 350 yards? Come on, man.
Sure.
But again,
absolutely.
When it comes to the connection for those guys, I think yes, the injury did limit that, but I think the connection is already there, right? Case in point, when you watch last week's game, you can see Josh cheating over because Josh. This seems more plausible to me than Josh getting in position for a lateral. I think Josh saw the play. He saw the bobbled pass. He either expected the pass to get, kind of tossed up and intercepted.
Poked out, maybe.
Or something like that. So he wanted to be in position to get that tackle so that they couldn't break off for 100 yards, right? And I think it just the fact that they were seeing each other and Amari Cooper had the trust to just toss it. They've already developed something strong in practice. That type of trust doesn't just happen overnight.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Especially in that environment. Like
exactly.
I said that a post game. I'm like, what wowed me about that play? Not so much the play itself. Like the play itself was like awesome, right? Like, but we've seen that before, right? What wowed me about it more so is one, he's a freshly new player. One, right? So they're like waiting for that trust factor, right, between them both. Two, the conditions were terrible. It was like that could have been a really bad decision. Like if Josh is not ready or the ball slips out of Josh's hand, it bounces the other way, and the defensive player picks it up, and that's a touchdown going the other way. Like it really could have been a disaster play. That's why I think it wowed me more that it just worked like to perfection. Like there was no bobble of the ball. It was perfectly lateral to him, and the touchdown, like on top of it. Yeah, and I'm with you. Like that's a trust thing. Like absolutely, because if that goes sideways, who's fucking pissed on the sideline? Sean McDermott, right?
I'll give you another clear example too of the trust in case that's not enough for anybody. The the up and what is it? I'm sorry, the double move that Amari Cooper put on the defender in the Kansas City Chiefs game on the right side of the field, where Josh kind of threw that rainbow pass, right? That's an anticipation throw. Josh is not an anticipatory thrower.
No.
So for him to put the ball up like that, knowing I got Amari Cooper out there, like that has to speak to a level of trust from quarterback to receiver for him to just put a pass out there. And you know what? If he gets it, great. If he doesn't, we'll go back to the drawing board. But he trusted Cooper to put it out there in the first place.
I agree because you saw that with Keon Coleman later on in the season. You didn't see it in the first 3 or 4 games. Like it started to come. You started to see that trust factor. Josh throwing more his way, giving him tougher passes to catch. Like, yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So it is coming along. Like I think it's coming along. I don't think it's all the way there yet because Amari is a different kind of route runner. He said it himself. So you kind of got it. The quarterback has they have to do reps together, and that's what practice is. And I'm sure as they keep going week to week to week, Josh is getting more and more comfortable with how he runs his routes. And once he gets it down, it's I think Amari's going to shine. I do. And like you said, this is a dome game. They're in California. Josh is home. Josh's hometown, pretty much California. I do think Josh's numbers are going to be pretty damn good today. I do. Yep. I don't know about Amari getting 100.
Oh,
I don't. I think that's a great hot take, though. I don't. Is
that because of the whole everybody eats thing, or you think?
Well, no. I think it's a combination of a little bit right now with that. I don't think his wrist is yet right, like good yet, like good enough yet. I still think it's affecting him a little bit. I think it's still him trying to gather the playbook still like that still has a little bit more to it. I think he's almost there. And yes, the little everybody eats mentality thing too is starting to, that's why, but I could be wrong. But if you look at the season in total, let's be real. Like Khalil Shakir probably could have had 100 games, multiple games with 100-yard if he kept throwing him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not what we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So, could I see Amari getting 100 in a game? Of course I can. I just don't think you're going to see it so soon. You know what I mean? Like I said, would it shock me if he did today? No, of course not. He's Amari Cooper. He was one of the best receivers in the game for a long time, right? So, I don't think he is as good as he used to be, but I still think he's playing at a pretty good level of football. And he makes he makes it so much easier for everyone else. That's why I love the Amari Cooper pickup more than anything, because everybody else's job is a lot easier, right? Khalil, Dalton Kincaid when he's back out there, Keon Coleman when he's back out there, Matt Collins even, right? It opens it up more for these guys to actually, get separation better, easier, right? Because defenses are more honed in on Amari Cooper. So that's how I see it.
Is this number a little more realistic for you? Would you at least give Amari Cooper 80 yards? Can you give him 80?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's how I see it. So here's a realistic for me. Like now, mind you, 100 is realistic, but I'm going my end. I think anywhere from 65 to 80 yards today, and between that. So I know it's a funky number, but I'll go 65 to 80. Because what's the most he's had with this so far? I think he had 60 something, right? His second game.
He had more than that against the Chiefs, didn't he?
I don't think he's had 80. Pull it up. Let me see. Let's see.
Let's see. So he's had.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Against the. Oh no, this wasn't with the Bills.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't with the Bills. So
I think his best number was 60 something. I could be wrong, but
66.
Pull that up. There you go. So. And that was the second game, right? The second game. There you go. So, once again,
that would have been his first game because he played the Eagles the week before that.
Oh, you're all right. So, what did he have against the Chiefs? He had the 2 catches for 50 yards, 47 yards. 55. Okay, so he's like I said, I'm going to go with 65 to 80. I think he's getting there. You know what I mean? I think the wrist thing is kind of messing him up a little bit. That sucks that happened. But it could have been worse, right? He actually got out there quicker than Kincaid and Coleman so far. Now, I know Kincaid's injury is different, his knee, but Coleman's been out for a minute, Coleman's, I think, longer than Amari, right? So far. This is what? This is 4 weeks going now for Coleman?
Yep.
Or am I? So, yeah. So, I think they just want to be more cautious with Coleman. I think they want him coming in 100. Like I said, I think first the Lions, you'll see him. So, Zach Davison and Lewis Stein were called up. Oh, hey, I like Davison. I think Davison's a sneaky player to have on our team. Like, he is a guy to watch for. I think moving forward. I think after this season, I'm saying. I think this season's 2. Maybe you see something. But I like his size. I like his athleticism. Like, I think he could be something on this team. Like, he could potentially take over like Quentin Morris's job. You know what I mean?
You ready for a real hot take?
Yeah, go for it.
I've been thinking about this. I've really been giving this some thought. I can't wait to see the comments light up for this. I think the Bills would be better off trading Dalton Kincaid and re-signing or extending Knox and keeping and developing Davidson. Here's why.
That's cringy. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I know.
The chat is about to be a lot of unsubscribers right now. Go ahead.
I'm going to make a case. I promise you. So check this out. To this point, the Bills have not shown that they're willing to use Dalton Kincaid in a way that really accents what Kincaid is good at, right? Which is the seam routes, flag routes, deep crossers, things like that put him in a good position to win one-on-one. Now, whether that's because Kincaid hasn't shown that he can win on one-on-one consistently, or if he's not finding the right holes in the zone at this point, you can say what you want about that, right? But when you talk about the style of football that this team is playing right now, very physical brand of football, fits the weather, fits the outdoors, fits the brand of Buffalo Bills football. Dawson Knox has been one of those dudes where twice a game, at least twice, well, I'd say at most twice a game, you get him the ball, he's going to put somebody's face in the dirt, or he's going to bowl somebody over with a shoulder and make them regret trying to tackle him, okay? Now, here's the other part of this. When you look at what the Bills gave up for Dalton Kincaid, they spent a first-round pick on him. To the Bills, that doesn't matter. If it did, Kyer Elam would be playing right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think there's any pressure in terms of the pick they spent on him to really get him involved. So if they're not using him the way he should be used, they're kind of just using him, however they want to serve a smaller purpose in the grand scheme of the offensive scheme. And he's not really breaking out the way that we thought he would, especially after what we saw last year. They don't care about the first round pick they spent on him. It doesn't speak to a large commitment to him the way that a Dawson Knox would make more sense. And for me anyway, it would make more sense to keep Dawson Knox. And you got a guy in Zach Davidson who he could develop to be close to what you're getting from Dalton Kincaid already. I mean, we saw him play in preseason. He's not that far off from the production that we saw from Dalton Kincaid so far. He may not make the amazing sideline catches and stuff like that, but Dalton Kincaid has been getting 3 targets a game, if that.
Yeah, Roy. By the way, that's it. It's gonna recollect those flyers for the post podium podcast. I told you, man, this take of yours could be dangerous.
Fine,
very dangerous. Okay.
That's okay.
Oh boy, spinning his all capital letters. What is this?
Come on.
Now you do got one person saying they agree with you, and that's Robert Wilson. I agree with Aramis. So you got somebody on your side. Is the Kincaid production a result of Brady? That's a great question. So go ahead, Aramis. Is that a result of Brady, his scheme?
Yes, and this is part of the reason why I think you can get away with not having Kincaid here. The way they use Dalton Kincaid is not the way you would run 2 tight ends in a pro style formation or a 12 formation, right? The routes he runs do not fit his skill set. He does a lot of the short up and outs or the crosser routes where you need a little bit more speed. Dawson Knox is faster than Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid ran, I think, a 4.6 something like that, right? It might have even been a 4.7. And Dawson Knox is right around that 4.5 range. So Dawson Knox is a much more athletic tight end when it comes to his ability to make cuts and run routes and stuff like that and really box people out. Dalton Kincaid is not that guy. So when it comes to the way the routes that are being called for Dalton Kincaid, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit him as a player. It doesn't fit this offense in the grand scheme of running a 12 formation, because he's not effective in it. He hasn't been. I mean, point to one game this year where we've said this is a Dalton Kincaid game when he was healthy.
Yeah, listen, man. I'll agree with that point of it. Like, Kincaid has been. I think going into this year, I think there was a lot of high expectations for him. There's no doubt about that. And I think because of those high expectations and him not living up to them right now, and then of course him being injured now, like, yeah, like people are gonna be like, oh man, like, you know, like, did we make the right decision on him? Here's the deal. I think it's too early, man. It's way too early for him to tell yet. Yeah. I think his route running is really good compared to Dawson Knox. I think it's better. I think his hands are much better than Dawson Knox, though Dalton Kincaid coming out of college was supposed to be the best, and I don't think he's been the best. I think he's had some drops, but I don't think it's been
destroyed.
Yeah. But I don't think it's been crazy. You know what I mean? Where we're going to sit back like Dawson Knox, not, you know, where he was just dropping.
No,
not through the career. I think Dawson Knox has had many seasons where I think he's almost led the team in drops. I don't think Kincaid's ever been to that category. I could be wrong.
Drops, yeah.
Drop passes, yeah. So I'm just saying, drop passes. I think he has better hands than Dawson. I also think Dawson has been. Yeah, I know. I don't think he's been here longer, so he has a little bit more reps with Josh Allen and trust with Josh Allen. That helps as well.
Yeah, but if you go back to Dalton Kincaid's stats from last year,
they're better. Here's the deal. I think they try to push the 12 personnel, and we're not built that way. We never will, and it never will happen. I just don't see it. And I think when Joe Brady, when he took over and his philosophy and what he wants to do, I just don't know. That's not how we're built to get the ball to the tight end. Matter of fact, Buffalo's never had a good tight end. Like, we've never had unbelievable tight end numbers.
Scott Chandler wasn't good?
No. I'm talking about where we had a tight end that was unbelievable. Like just dudes putting up numbers year to year. We've never had like a tight end game is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? We're like, we're just going our tight end. Like, it's just never been that way in Buffalo forever. And I'm not saying we haven't had, you know, decent tight ends here. Just, it's never been the focal point of any offense that I've watched. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like it's still kind of continuing that trend of that's not what we do. You know what I mean? And I don't think Josh Allen particularly goes to tight ends much. Like, he wants to go to his receivers more. And you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. I haven't seen him go to tight ends a lot. So I don't know if Kincaid's numbers will ever truly be where a lot of Bills Mafia wants it to be. And maybe that's where I'll go on your end, on your side of things, and go, okay, if that's the case, maybe get what you can right now for him if you're going to trade him.
That's my thought. If
you're not really, because eventually his contract's going to end. Yep. And another team might go, hey, man, we really think we can use this. They're not using him right. We'll pay that dude that money because we think we can use this dude the right way, and we'll use him a lot more in offense, and we're not going to match that contract. I'm just throwing that out there. However, I do think it's maybe too early. So on the flip side of it. So I'm torn on it. Like, I am. I get where you're going with it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the fence with it, man, because I do believe he's a good player, but does he match the scheme? Does he, to be truly that number one draft pick that we, you know, the first round draft? To be fair, right now, as we sit here today, no.
Right. And if you, like, put it like this, just to kind of,
damn it, Kincaid.
Right.
Yeah,
so think about it like this: if Kincaid was in Kansas City, do we honestly think that Kincaid would have the same numbers that he's having now? No. I think he would have much better numbers if he was in KC. You could even put him in Vegas with the Raiders. and he would be putting up Brock Bowers numbers. He
Right.
is an athletic tight end. He is a tight end that excels in route running. He does have amazing hands. But if you don't give him the opportunity to use those things in the way that his style of tight ends, those split tight ends like to do, you can't expect him to flourish in this system. It's essentially a very similar draft pick to drafting Kaiir Elam. You draft a man guy and you want him to come in and be this great zone guy. And then when he gets beat out by a 6th round pick who is great at zone, and God bless Christian Benford for everything he's been here, but damn it, stop wasting 1st round picks.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Anyone else you want to trade away?
Yes. No. Listen. I was saying this. I was saying this last year. If you're not going to use Kaiir Elam, you got to get something for him now. But you're in year 4 of that contract. I think his contract is up after this season, and you're just going to lose him for nothing. I've listened to so many different announcers in the offseason and regular season during the drought talk about, well, if you can't just let the guy rot away in Buffalo, you got to try and get something for him. And we go through the same carousel time after time after time. We just lose guys, and we get nothing. And the idea of letting Elam go for what, compensatory pick? No, you can get more than that. Last year, if you had traded Elam to a corner needy team, you probably could have got a 2nd round pick.
I think I was saying they should have traded him last year. I was totally on board. But I understood the argument that if somebody went down, I get that part. Because he was starting to turn it around a little bit, but he's still, I don't know if it's a scheme or just him or just maybe a combination of both. I don't know, but he's not working out.
Yeah.
He's not, and he hasn't. So, I don't know what they do with Elam's I have no idea what they're going to do with Elam. I think it's too late at this point. You might as well just keep him until his rookie deal is over and just let him walk after that. Right. I mean, honestly, it's stuck with him. Yeah. So who the hell wants him now? You know what I mean? So, John Kincaid has 2 more seasons on his rookie contract. Yeah. And that's why I think Aramis is bringing up the point. Because I don't know. My whole thing with him is, like I said, his rookie contract ends. Do the Bills want to pay it? Right, to keep him here? Does another team swoop in and give him a better offer because I think they could use him more in the offense, their offense scheme? Maybe you get something now for him rather than later. But I'm on the fence with it because I still think he could be used right, and I think he is better than what we've seen.
So let's look at it from this perspective. Answer this question, right? How happy were you with Dawson Knox's contract when he got that? $48 million for what? No bueno. That was a funky year. That was 2022. A lot had happened in the offseason. His brother just passed away. I think Brandon Beane had 9 touchdowns the season before.
Yeah, the season before he was tied with Kelsey with touchdowns. I think 8 or 9, like you said. Mm-hmm. So he was coming off a good year touchdown wise, his best year of the Buffalo Bill. We had a lot of weird things going on in the offseason, like I said, and then his brother passing away. I kind of feel like Beane maybe rushed it too. It's kind of trying to do a solid for him as well. Okay. But I don't think it was worth it. No, I didn't like it at the time. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like it at the time. I thought it was too much at the time.
So now imagine giving Kincaid a contract like that now after the numbers he's put up. Because
exactly. I wouldn't. And that's my point. So do you want to get rid of him now? But I think you can hold off 1 more year, and I still think his value will be decent. You get what I'm saying? So I would, if I'm Beane, I'm going into next season with him, saying, let's see, and kind of just going up to the trade deadline at that point and seeing where you're at with Kincaid. If he hasn't really taken off by then, or we're still kind of not sure how to use him the right way, or he's just not fitting the scheme, then a team might be willing to get rid of a draft pick because they're in need of a tight end, whatever, and then you pull that off. But I would hold him on. I would hold off at least 1 more season, or at least a half a season, see where he's at next year. Because I do think, like I said, he he could be something special here potentially, but I don't know if does Joe Brady like dial it up for him. I don't know if that's ever going to be. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If he's going to make him a focal point of the offense is what I'm saying, and I don't think he'll ever be that.
Right. The hope has to be, and it sucks saying this, but the hope has to be, obviously Joe Brady either isn't allowed to or doesn't know how to use Dalton Kincaid the way that he wants to, right? And Joe Brady's been getting a lot of looks for head coach. So if you want to keep Kincaid and you want to see Kincaid flourish here and be that Travis Kelce type tight end, maybe you need another offensive coordinator that knows how to use the tight ends in that way. And that's a hard conversation to have because right now Brady's on fire. He's been doing very well this season with his offense, making in-game adjustments and using all of his pieces and giving Josh much easier looks at the line of scrimmage and things like that. So it's kind of hard to say this, but you almost have to choose now. Okay, either I try to not force Brady out, but don't fight for him if he gets an offer from somewhere, because I've got this first round investment that I want to boost up, and I need to find a guy to take care of him. I got a quarterback. I don't really need to worry about a guy that can work with Josh. Anybody can work with Josh. I need to start developing these pieces I have.
Right. Joe Brady might be head coach too. Could be gone. New scheme. Now that is very possible. But I think if Joe Brady leaves and they bring in an OC, I think obviously McDermott would be his selection. Yeah. And I almost think he would want an OC that kind of is coming in with the same philosophy as Joe Brady. I don't think he would want to mix it up. You know what I mean? Like where we get an OC that's just like totally opposite of what Joe Brady did while he was here. So that would really say it would be the same. I mean, in a nutshell. Yeah, so I'm just throwing that out there. I don't see like, you know what I mean? Now, if the scheme didn't work and Joe Brady was fired, then that's totally different, right? Then I'm sure McDermott be up for, okay, let's try to change things up. Let's do this now. But I think the offense would relatively stay the same. And I don't think Joe Brady leaves this offseason. I think Joe Brady, if he's smart, I'll be honest with you, he stays one more season, just like Ben Johnson did with the Lions. And Ben Johnson's going to get broken off after this season, regardless if they get a Super Bowl or not, because he waited one more season. And now the offers are going to be coming in like, dude, I'm telling you, you wait. The amount of interviews he's going to get while in the playoffs is going to be nuts because they're coming. Man, this sun is just, I'm not.
Turning to dust already, huh?
Like the sun's starting to come down, almost like as we're talking, I'm like, all right.
At least you have sun out there. Jeez.
Oh my God. Oh man. By the way, update. Oh man, the freaking Titans lost to the Jaguars. How embarrassing if you're a Tennessee fan. Not that the Titans are anything special, but how are you losing to Mac Jones and the Jaguars at home? They lost 10-6. So that's the one game's in the book. The Jets and Dolphins are tied at 23. The Dolphins just scored a touchdown. So Jets have the ball now. Vikings are up 30. Yep. The Vikings are up 35-21. That one's pretty much wrapped. 6 minutes to go. I don't see the Falcons bouncing back. Saints are up 14-3, 6 minutes. Giants can't score a fucking point, so forget that. That game's over. The Panthers down 22-16 to the Eagles. They have the ball at their own 46 with 2 minutes to go. They could potentially win the game with this drive. So interesting. Very interesting to see. Then you got the Browns getting smoked 27-7. That game's they can't score. 9 minutes to go. That's over with. The Bucks are up 21-13. They just Las Vegas just scored a field goal with 3 minutes to go, so they still have an opportunity. But the time is running out, so they better get a stop. So there's your scores, really. So there's really, honestly, some tight games, bro. Other than the Vikings and the Steelers game, I mean, there's some games still coming down to the wire. So, and I don't know if Jaguars, if that's considered an upset, but the Tennessee Titans should have won that. It's embarrassing. If you're a Titans fan, holy shit, man. Will Levis, that's another guy you got to be thinking about. Like, what in the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah.
That's his second year. I always say you judge a quarterback by his second year. The first year you could kind of tell what you got, but his second year will tell you way more. You see Stroud. I still like Stroud, by the way, though, but you see his sophomore slump a little bit, right? I still like him. I still think he could be something, but you do see the year two how coordinators start to understand your weaknesses and really, start to attack them. So we'll see. It's just like the quarterback for the Patriots, Drake May. I like May. I do. But once again, let's see next year. We'll have the same. We could talk again about how his, where he's at in his, his career in year two. So, but yeah, man, May, if you're the Titans right now, if you're Titans fans, I'm considering, man, you better start looking because I don't think he's the guy. He's made way too many mistakes this year. You can't beat the Jaguars, bro. Stop, bro. I mean, it's not like their defense let them have, a shit ton of points, bro. They scored 10 points. You can't score 11. Golly. At home.
The Titans offense, they do well against zone teams. They don't do well against man teams that can cover man well, like the Jaguars can. Jaguars defense is almost all man. So it's just a bad matchup for them.
Levis came back, Robert, in that game. So at halftime he got nailed and he wound up coming back. So he didn't even really, if that's not the case at all. I'm pretty sure he played the whole game. He did. He played the whole game. He was 19 to 32 for 168 yards. So he played the whole game. So no excuses. No excuses.
Right, especially not for Will
No. He came back and he was just as terrible as he was the first half.
You can't be doing splits and commercials and stuff and come and play games like that.
Right. No. But yeah, this Carolina, they're at the 50 right now. Man, I got to give it to Carolina. And they've been playing much better lately. They're still a terrible team, but they've been in some dogfights lately.
Yeah.
They've been in some dogfights, and I never liked their quarterback. I still don't really like him too much, but I'll give him as a little deuce. He's been playing much better over the last, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that.
4 weeks.
Yeah, about 4 weeks now. So good for him. Let's see what he could do. I just feel like his size, he's just too undersized for the NFL. That's just my opinion on it. But anyways, let's get back to the game in hand, man. Today, the Rams. And I want to get to it. 3 key matchups with you, all right? The big 3. Here goes the big 3. Shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. All right, first one up. Teron versus Coop. All right, Cooper Kupp, not our Cooper. The battle in the slot will feature all pro caliber players who have been around the NFL for a while. Teron Johnson is in his 8th year and is coming off his first career all-pro selection last year, second team. Cooper Kupp is in his 9th year and has an all-pro selection under his belt as well, first team in 2021. Coop continues to set the majority of his snaps and in the slot. According to PFF, Kupp has 278 slot snaps and 151 wide snaps this year. Johnson will have his hands full. Not only is Kupp still a reliable route runner and pass catcher, but he has had the ultimate trust and chemistry with quarterback Matthew Stafford. The two won a Super Bowl together in 2022 and connected for the go-ahead touchdown in that game. A few wins from either side of this matchup could make a big difference. What do you think about this matchup?
This may not be a hot take. To some, it might be. But
another.
I'm just keep breaking them out. I'm full of them. No, I don't think people will be surprised by this. To me, Taron Johnson is as elite a defender as Cooper Kupp is an offensive weapon. I think that is going to be a great matchup, but I don't think this is going to be a great game for Cooper Kupp. I really don't. I think, with all of the other matchups that are going to be happening at the same time as Taron Johnson going up against Cooper Kupp, I think at the end of the day, Taron Johnson will have done a much better job against Cooper Kupp than Cooper Kupp doing against Taron Johnson.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think, listen, man, I think Teron is just a beast, bro. I love Teron Johnson. I love that we signed him early on in his career. We extended him. It was very smart by Brandon Beane to get him locked up early as you can, because he's one of the best. And he's on the field like 90-something% of, he's on the field most of the time. Like, which is rare for a slot to be on the field that much, a nickel. So you need him, and I think he's bro. The dude can tackle, the dude can cover. The dude just has it, bro. Like, he's a good player, bro. Great player, really.
Only thing he cannot do is take on 300-pound linemen. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only thing, right? Which,
and of course, here we go again. I'm ruining my whole set here, but friggin' the Browns
that's all right.
touchdown against the Steelers. I told you this was going to be an interesting game. I did tell you that.
The Browns winded up scoring. Yeah, but it's not enough times. 27-14. Well, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's potential. You're right. Or a turnover or whatever, or a quick 3 and out. It's potential. I just don't. I don't see it happen. I think the Steelers win this game. But who knows? Who knows? You're right. The Browns are one of those teams, man.
Yeah.
They fight. They fight to the very end. By the way, this Carolina game. Let's see what's going on here real quick, because I'm looking at my right here. So Panthers 4th and 9 at Philly, 37. So this is it for the game. By the way, 37 seconds left in this game. 4th and 9. So this is it. This is for the game right here. Crazy. I mean, crazy. I'll tell you what. If the Eagles win this game, are they still considered they're the best right now, or you think the Lions? If you were to have that argument, Lions or Philly right now playing the best? Let's just stick with the NFC. We'll put Buffalo out of it for now.
Oh man, he's making magic on the field right now. Holy cow! And nope, they didn't get it. So
they didn't. Game over. All right.
Yeah. So it's tough because the Panthers have been progressively getting better. Right. So I can't look at the Eagles and say, you're any worse than the Chiefs were when they went to the wire against the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes it tough. Should they trade Cup? You know what? I'm trading you, Roy. You can stay here. Don't come to my show anymore. I'm just playing.
Oh my God.
Or better yet, I'm just going to talk fantasy football the rest of the show.
Right,
fantasy football.
Oh my God.
No, but yeah, so I like, can I look at the Eagles and say they're not as good as we thought we were or anything like that? No, I can't. I think the Panthers defense is that good. They've
stepped up. Yeah, they have stepped up this season for sure.
Yep.
But I still think you're at home, you're Philly, you're considered one of, some people consider you the best. You can't have this come down to, you know what I mean? Last drive, 4th down to the Panthers. No offense. I get it, but it's not that you can't. So listen, a win's a win. You take it how you get it. I told you week in, week out, you never know. It's any given Sunday. I get they won, but the Lions are, like I said, once again, they got so many guys on IR and they continue to win. You have to count that in consideration. I think the Lions right now are playing the best. Now, I think the Bills are 3rd. I do. I really do. I think we're right there in that top 3 as far as best teams football. If we beat the Lions next weekend, first things first today, the Rams. But if we beat the Lions, I think that catapults us as being the best team in football, in my opinion, if we beat the Lions in Detroit next week. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, here we go. Bills offensive line versus Rams defensive line. All right, here we go. Both the Bills offensive line and the Rams defensive line have had outstanding seasons to this point. Both have outperformed their expectations this year. Heading into Week 14, both the Bills O-line and Rams D-line rank as the 6th best unit on their respective side of the ball, according to PFF. LA has posted the league's best quarterback pressure rate, 39.8, according to Next Gen Stats. Buffalo, on the other hand, has allowed the league's fewest sacks this year, 13, including 0 over the last 2 games. Something has to give. The battle in the trenches when the Bills have the ball will be the one of the better matchups around the NFL and will play a big role in the outcome of the game. So how do you feel this matchup's going to go? O-line versus D-line.
Pressure for Josh Allen is about as important as a goat fart. It makes no difference. Josh is he can shake off sacks. He can, the way the offensive line is playing this year and the space that they give Josh to make moves and either scramble or get the ball out on time. I don't think the pressure is going to make that much of a difference from the Rams, especially when their secondary is not that great. I mean, if they cannot if they cannot stop Cooper, and I don't think they will be able to stop Cooper, I think, Shakir is going to beat his man consistently, but I just think when you can't stop Shakir and you can't stop Cooper, there's nothing you can do at that point. You know what I mean? And then you add into that, the Rams are not that great against the run. They're about average. You know what I mean? In terms of run defense. So the Bills are going to be able to run the ball if they need to. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that their defensive line versus our offensive line. Does our offensive line play ever really matter when Josh is playing? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. That whole sack thing, I think you got to go a little bit because of who you got as quarterback. Helps a little bit when your guy can shut off sacks, you know what I mean?
Right.
Stiff arm sacks away and shit. Like,
exactly.
So I'm not saying our offensive line is bad, by the way, by saying I think our offensive line has played very well. I don't think they're great. Like a lot of people are like, oh, they're an A. Like I think they're a B plus, B plus. I think they're
okay.
And that's okay. I keep telling people that. People get so offended by me, Aramis, when I say like the whole James Cook thing, right? The old lie, like I'll like give it these grades, like you zero sacks. I'm like, come on, stop.
Sounds like the same reaction you get for suggesting Dalton Kincaid should be traded, but just semantics now,
Dude, I get it all the time for the James Cook thing. Like they think I hate this guy, and I'm like, dude, I never said I hated this guy. I just think you guys are drinking a lot of the Homer juice, man, when it comes to how good James Cook really is. I mean, but whatever. I'm not going to get back on the James Cook thing because an old Chad's going to hate me again. And just leave it alone. Just going to leave it alone, man. All right, on to the next. Oh, my God. Right when I thought it was over with him.
We are not gushing over this dude. I'm sorry.
It brought me right back in. James Cook versus the Rams front seven. If the Bills can get running back James Cook rolling on the ground like they did last week, 107 yards and 7.6 yards per carry, then it will keep the Rams' impressive pass rush honest. And although the Rams can get after the quarterback, they had their holes in the run game. They ranked 21st in the NFL in defensive rush DVOA, while ranking 22nd in EPA/rush. On top of that, they allowed the fifth most yards after contact per rush, 3.25, according to Next Gen Stats. Buffalo and offensive coordinator Joe Brady have found a lot of success on the ground this year, fourth in rushing DVOA. If they can get going once again, it will be worrisome for LA. So how do you think this game's going to go? Because, they are the best against the run this year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Cook is going to have some opportunities.
Right.
I think the offensive line is going to present some very easy decisions for James Cook to run through. As you can tell, I'm trying to work my way through this tape
around these chats. Yeah, I get it.
But, this minefield I'm treading through.
I know.
So I think the Bills' run game will do well today. I think I've been saying this, all show long. I think the offense is going to have what it wants today. I really do. I think in the run game, if as long as they continue to run to Cybo side, I think it'll be easy street all day long. That guy is a man mover.
Absolutely.
Spencer Brown is a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So just either that or you could do what traditionalism NFL schemes tell you to do and run at their best defender. So you just run straight to Jared Verse. Wherever he is, you just run straight. The only issue with that is he's a power defender. So he's pretty good against the run. So I would just, Verse usually plays on the left side of the offense, right side of the defense. So you just run behind Cybo and Spencer Brown. I know you won't be able to do that all game, but you just run away from it.
Yeah, I think Cook will have a good game today. I'm hoping Ray Davis gets opportunities as well. In this game, just kind of showcase him a little more because we're going to need him, especially in late December. Even though they're getting there, but January in the playoffs, like in those bad weather games, like where Cook's going to need a break, or short yardage where Davis excels more, or between the tackles where Davis excels more. So I want to start Davis getting more touches and just start getting that going. I don't know if Brady will this game, but we'll see. But I do think, though, I think they both will have a good game. I think overall it'll be a repeat performance of last week. About 200 rushing yards total for the Bills offense. And I think we'll also do good in the air as well. This is a dome game. There's no reason why Josh can't get better numbers this week either. Giants got the ball, driving only down 3. Look, I was wrong on them. Well, Jesus Christ, they had 3 points with 5 minutes to go. What do you want me to do?
Right.
And their offense was terrible for a second. I don't know. What? I guess they woke up. Who's their quarterback? It's not DeVito. It's the other guy.
Drew Lock.
From Denver, right? The old Broncos quarterback, right?
Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock. Drew Lock, baby. All right, so let's get to the next one. Big 3.
Cars going off the field, too.
Yeah, we got the causes for concern. Man, we got some causes for concern right here. Let's get to it, man. All right, Bills Wire. What do you got? Matt Stafford is on a heater. The Rams have recovered from their 1-4 start to the season, in large part because Matthew Stafford has been playing better as of late. The offense has bounced back in a big way. They're throwing me off by saying Matt Stafford. I've always known him as Matthew Stafford. When did he become Matt? Anyways, over the last 6 games.
Then he became Matt.
Oh, did he? Oh, then he was cool. Hey, Matt, man. Over the last 6 games, Stafford has thrown for 14 touchdowns while throwing just 3 interceptions. He's averaging 265 yards per game over that stretch. Now the Rams are back in the mix for the NFC West title, and they are playing at home with a ton to prove. This is a team better than its 6-6 record. Aramis, what do you think about that, man?
I don't think it is a team better than their 6-6 record. I think they have a lot of they have a good young team right now with an aging quarterback, but there are some very big holes on this team. Their offensive line is not great at pass blocking. There's a reason why Matt Stafford gets the ball out as fast as he does. There's a reason why the Rams do not have as many passes over 40 yards as they had the last 2 seasons. They don't have the time to do that with the Buffalo. Yeah. And this is why I said if Jordan Phillips was playing in this game, it would be more beneficial for the Bills, because if you can get pressure up the middle for a guy like Matt Stafford, who's not a scrambler, and you can get him to move off of his spot, he's way less accurate throwing on the run than he is just standing there in the pocket, even just backing up. You got to get him off his spot. You got to get pressure up the middle, and you can absolutely do that against this offensive line. It's there to be had. They're not that great, but they compensate for that by getting the ball out quick, by running the ball and limiting the amount of time that Stafford has to throw the ball, deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which wasn't really his style in the past. Stafford normally hold the ball a little bit longer. Yeah. But like you said, his offensive line's not holding up this year as much. So we're going to run through this because it's 4:05. So let's quick go through this. The rest, at least skill players to keep tabs on. And obviously, I won't read it. We know who they are. And yes, obviously Puka, Cooper Kupp. Yeah, you got to keep your eye on, and we've done that well against this year, and really for a long time against top performers, except for one guy, Derrick Henry. It's the only guy we can't figure out for some reason. Right, it's the only guy. Rams have their backs against the wall. They sure do. And then we're going to get to the 3 keys, and then we're going to bounce out of here so we can get to the game. So let's get to the 3 keys to victory, and then this way everybody can go on their lazy boys or couches and enjoy the game. All right, here we go. 3 keys to victory. So first one we got, make them stop the run. Yes, we talked about that. Absolutely, and I don't think they will. Contain Rams pass rush. Yeah, and I think we can. I think our offensive line this year is more than capable, and I do think getting to Josh Allen's easier said than done. It's tough. Limit explosives from McVay's offense, and yes, so those are 3 keys of victory, and yes, so let's go ahead and get to the score predictions so we can get out of here. So chat, go ahead and throw your score predictions while we're coming up with ours. So go ahead and Aramis, how do you see this game playing out? What's the score?
I got it going 35-17. I think it's going to be a little bit closer by half. We'll probably be up by a touchdown or something like that. But might be 10-17, something like that. But second half for the Buffalo Bills have been great all season long. I think we pull away in the second half and end it.
Okay. And what do you got to score?
35-17.
35-17? Okay. So I have 37-23. I'll go 37-23. Just under the 40 that you want me to so call the 40. I'm not.
I just want you to say it with your chest, baby. That's it.
You did it to me once before. Not doing it again. 37-23. By the way, and we've scored 30 points in the last 6 games in a row, something crazy like that. We have not gone under 30 in a while. And man, we've been holding teams too, pretty good on defense. So me giving them 23, I'm just doing that because they do have a good offense. They're at home, but could just be, 14 points. Yeah, possibly. We could hold them to 14. I could definitely see it happening if our offense gets going. Not to mention, our turnovers have been great. We've been turning the ball over like crazy. And then the points after that, we just benefit every time. We lead the league in that turnover, turnovers as far as that goes. So, yeah, man, I think we control this game. And that's it. You know what I do want to see a little bit more out of Brady? The only thing I want to see a little bit more, and I don't know if you'll do it, but a little bit more up tempo at times. A little bit more up tempo. Get Josh. I feel like the best our offenses looks is when Josh gets to the line quick. And get to the line quick. Well, I'm talking about it was 14 seconds still, and he gets read the defense, change plays at the line. I hate when we get plays called in so late and we're coming up to the line with 4 seconds, 5 seconds like that. Let's get a little bit more up tempo, get to the line quicker. Let's just I want to see that style. I don't know if you'll ever keep to it, but I feel like Josh has done really well when we do 2-minute drives up tempo offense. He really starts to cook.
Yep.
In those scenarios. I would just like to see it a little bit more. Jets are tanking. I don't know let's get to the scores real quick and then we're going to bounce. So Jets 1 minute to go, 23-23, 4th and 7 at Miami 24. So more than likely they're going for a field goal right here to take the lead and the Dolphins will have an opportunity. Saints are up 14-11. Saints have the ball with 1:39. So I'm guessing it's close to over. I don't know how many timeouts the Giants have. They took one right now. All right, so the field goal is good. So the Jets are up 26-23, 52 seconds left. That's more than enough time if you're a Dolphin fan to go down. There's no excuse if you're a Dolphin fan not to get at least a field goal or an attempt. I think the Saints will wind up winning this game. They're at the New Orleans 48. I don't know how much time I saw. Steelers are up 27-14 at Cleveland's 15, 2 minutes to go. Game over. All right, Aramis, I'm going to call it now. I know I did it earlier. It is over. Okay. Cardinals are up 7-0 right now. They scored quick, boy. Cardinals are one of those teams, man. I'm telling you, they could be dangerous. It just depends on what Kyle Murray shows up, right? Like the good or the bad one, right? Because he is dangerous. When he's on, he is tough, dude. But anyways, guys, that's it, man. That is it for our pregame. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying Aramis, man, because me and Aramis are a team on the pregame, and we have fun, man. We enjoy kicking it with you guys, and we will see you. Me and Mikey will be on the postgame right after the game, so you don't want to miss that. So until next week, me and Aramis will see you same time, or not same time. It's always different. 1 hour and a half before the game starts. So Bills Mafia, you guys rule, and as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace. Aramis?
Go Bills.
Yeah. Later.
Ah.